Hello, my name is Özgür Ekşi. I'm the founder of TurDef.com, and we are with Mr. Faruk Mahmut Akşit, the president and the CEO of TEI, TUSAŞ Engine Industries.
Yes.
Mr. Akşit, could you tell us a little bit about your new engine, PD-222? It's a new engine for the UAVs, I suppose.
Yes. Actually, this engine is developed over the main configuration of PD-170, our previous UAV engine. PD-170 was best in its class, still best in its class in terms of the altitude capability, like up to 40,000 feet operational capability. Also, it is the best in its class in terms of fuel consumption. At mission altitude, it has about 11% fuel savings over the best competitor engine. Roughly like 11% less fuel consumption around 25,000 feet operation altitude. This engine has been developed based on this main configuration of PD-170. PD-170 was geared towards more altitude performance and in terms of power and fuel efficiency. This engine is designed to optimize more takeoff power. It is still capable of operating at very high altitudes, as high as like 40,000 feet, but of course it has less power at 40,000 feet compared to a dual turbocharger. This is a single turbocharged engine, but from the same configuration, we managed to provide 55 horsepower, more horsepower, in addition to 170 that PD-170 can provide. So this engine can provide 225 horsepower during takeoff. Yet we managed to decrease the weight of the total weight of the engine about 5 kilograms. So we boosted the power 55 horsepower and decreased the weight by another 5 kilograms.
So could you tell us where it will be used? I suppose it will be used at Akıncı-C UAV.
Actually, this can be used anywhere PD-170 is used. The way we design is such that all the main interface, form fit interface points the same as PD-170 engine. So if you are using a PD-170 engine and your engine is used up its life, you want to change, you can take PD-170 and put this engine in terms of form fit, everything else. But this engine is particularly developed to boost TB3, the new Bayraktar UAV, during takeoff, as well as to provide additional power that is needed for Akıncı UAV, which is much more heavier. So Akıncı is currently flying with turboprop engines in a heavy model. This model is a heavy loaded model with extra payload, etc. There is a Akıncı-C version, which is lighter, but probably like for other purposes. So this two of these engines will power Akıncı-C, will give more power than PD-170 for additional payload or shorter takeoff distance. But of course, this will be also used possibly in the future for Anka and Aksungur, which are currently using PD-170 engine.
So I understand with this PD-222, you changed where the engine boosts more power in comparison with PD-170.
Actually, we played with the combustion. We optimized more to gain more power, at least for short durations. We also had to redesign gearbox and some dynamic powertrain elements to make sure they are durable enough to withstand the required, to withstand the additional power requirement for the required operation time.
So how did you manage to lose 5 kilogram in the meantime?
The basic changes, as you can see, is from the turbo system. So instead of dual turbo system, we adopted a single turbo system, of course, which is a little bit different than, it is not something like we took out one of the turbos of the PD-170. We redesigned the entire turbo system to replace the dual turbo with one turbo. Even give more power, like from 170 to 225. So this gave us around 10 kilograms of advantage. But we had to use add more weight to gearbox and some other powertrain elements to increase the thickness of some elements because the loading is bigger.
Yes.
So the actual total weight savings initially was more than 10 kilograms. When we increased the weight of some other components for durability, it ended up about, again, in total, 5 kilograms of weight savings.
I see. And you also mentioned that this could be used at TB3. So we know you have sent three engines for the TB3. Is it that one or PD-170?
Actually, because they're exactly same form, similar weight, or this is even lighter, we initially sent 3 PD-170 to the customer for their integration work to start. So they already tested engines and they're already working with the integration work. But when this is ready to fly, we'll just simply interchange. But we don't know which one they are gonna fly first, TB3 or Akıncı-C. It's up to the customer.
I see. So in this case, the PD-170 that you sent will be used as a test bed.
Yes, as development engines. But depending on the mission, if customer wants high altitude performance, they can still keep and use PD-170. If they want short takeoff, they can change. They can use both of them in production. For example, this can be easily used for UAVs that's gonna take off from Anadolu battleship, if you will.
So the PD-222 is good for the short distance takeoff.
Yes.
And PD-170 will be used for conventional takeoff.
If the application is not demanding in terms of takeoff mark, but it is demanding in terms of high altitude fuel performance or the power performance. Like if it is going to constantly fly around 40,000 feet, this is not a good option. At similar altitudes, dual turbo version PD-170 is more economic and it provides more power.
So could you lastly tell us about the timetable when this engine will be finalized?
Currently, this is an actual test engine. We brought it from a test. You can see basically corrosion and high temperature oxidation on the exhaust system. So it's an actual prototype engine. Here, we are still testing this, and we expect about 1 year to go into full production and ready to fly. All the testing is completed.
Mr. Akşit, thank you very much for answering our questions.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you.